And I'm gonna read this because according to an article from psychiatryadvisor.com written by Tori Rodriguez, technology use in adolescence can increase creativity, identity development, social group connection, and improvements in self-esteem and well-being. Do you believe, this goes with this, do you believe there are mental health challenges that can be associated with the use of technology?
Absolutely.
Or even social media?
COVID is the clear indication of that. I mean, how could we have gotten through COVID without technology?
We couldn't have.
We couldn't have.
It would not have.
But, go say that.
Schools would have stopped. Work would have stopped. Virtual, the ability to be virtual, to be together remotely is clearly what kept this country and everywhere else going. I mean,
the world.
Now, naturally,
the world went into a crisis for the whole world.
It kept the world going.
It didn't matter how much money you had, how rich you were. It did not matter anything. Everybody got food stamps.
I totally disagree. And I'm going to say
With
because
COVID?
now you have relied on social media or...
No, it's not social media.
No, I mean just...
Business and...
Technology,
school.
period. It's become your life now. You have to depend on it. If you didn't have it at all, how do you survive?
But
we didn't always have it. So how are we raising families without technology? It is very possible.
So during COVID...
We're not talking about COVID.
But that's his example.
Because COVID, I see my kids more outside than any other time.
But school,
he just mentioned business, school.
Take the time off you need to mentally check back in with life.
I don't know about that.
Because kids already went back to school with a lack of education and lack of knowledge. Because though every parent wasn't like you.
So when did books stop happening? When did reading? When did teaching?
During COVID, teachers couldn't come
we got something
from parenting. It starts at home, right?
But you got people, full-time parents supporting the home who's still working. Everybody wasn't out of work. We got to think about.
We're talking specifically about COVID.
Wait, right? That's what I'm talking about. You got to think broader than not that we talking about a world crisis that happened. There is no, you got to teach them with books. You got to do this. You can't do that. We talking about everything shut down. We're talking about companies working, Ameren, all these places to get our lights. Everybody essential. Let's use that word. Essential workers. I was an essential worker. That's an essential worker. You have to do things as an essential worker. So if I'm an essential worker and I'm still got to work and I got 3 kids at home and there's no technology, who's going to teach them?
Even for my clients who were having mental health crisis during COVID, without technology, they would have just what would have been the outcome? That's true,
and that's the field of study. So that's why we got to break it down with fields of study and expertise and what you do as a mental health counselor, as a people were losing their minds. They were going crazy. Because you know why? What are some of the things that was affected during COVID? No money.
Yep.
Companies shutting down.
Social abilities.
People losing business. Communication skills. Because kids had to go back to get communication skills. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're 1 out of 1 million who might talk to their kids, play with their kids. You'll teach your kids. You do whatever you need to do to make sure your kids is there, so their experience is not like yours. That's what the Angel Line is about. We teach these kids now. You're a dedicated parent that's doing that. But
it's more. It's more, me.
It's a lot.
But the question you asked was, can you do it? Yes, you can.
But his example was, then we switched to him. He said, let's be specific, and he specified it to COVID. And during COVID, Mike says that was a worldwide thing. Bodies are dropping left and right. So if you break it down to COVID, now if you take COVID out, I believe it could be possible, but that's only if you're that parent and you have the time and you can do that and you're not working and you're not coaching and you're not doing all these things. Teachers are the most essential things after parents because you said it earlier. Your kids spend half of their time at school. We just talked about it in professional development. Teachers don't understand how important they are. They can't treat these kids bad because they need you. Because they don't have families like we might have been raised with. They don't have a mama like Elena, a Dante like you, a father like Mike. They don't have nobody. So all they have is that teacher to be able to teach them. And then if their parents don't work, their parents probably not investing their time. Like, I don't know this, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the advancement of math. I'll tell you, I don't know how to do a math.
Yeah, and I was going to bring up that too. I mean, we spent a nice amount of time with technology being electronic, and technology doesn't always have to be electronic. It can be ways of doing stuff, right? Just practices of doing stuff. I mean, I remember learning how to do math one way, and then with technology, not including the calculator, they've changed how they're teaching these kids how to do it. I remember as a teacher when I taught high school, I took a class called Technology for Teachers, and we picked up not one electronic device. It was just different ways to present information to teach the kids. I mean, they were using four square math. I don't have any idea how to do four square math. It's like I knew how to do 1 + 1 or
a long way.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm not even doing that. Like, don't even bring that to me.
They consider that an advancement in math technology. I'm like, I don't get it. Take me back.
They build in a pyramid. Nope.
Yeah, you gotta do like.
Two. That's what.
No, you gotta do 1 + 1. Where's the origin of one? One came from Greece. And, hey man, look here. 2. 1 + 1 is 2. Like, how you get it? Because
one more. What's on my hand? 1, 2.
My grandma. 1, 2. But what? Hold on.
I want to know what you was gonna say.
I was gonna say with teachers.
Talk up in there, man.
I was gonna say with teachers, if the teachers give up on a certain student, then even though if they do give up, that's very crucial information lost to that student. Because if the parent doesn't have the correct information to teach the student or teach the kid, then where's the information going to come from? The internet. And if they don't have access to the internet, the only way for them to gain it is by going out and trying to find it themselves. But that's even more dangerous because if you go in places you're not supposed to be, like libraries, yes, they're very good places. You can find a lot of information there. But most kids either are too lazy to go there because of the technology they can look on their phone, or either too
they get involved in the negative and the wrong stuff. Kids are getting involved in the wrong stuff.
Unsocial.
Social skills.
Yeah.
Well, lack of social skills?
Too unsocial.
Non-socialized.
Yeah, non-socialized.
They don't socialize?
So,
antisocial?
Not antisocial, like they on the verge of being antisocial. The only way they can be social is through their device. But I mean, like, okay,
That's crazy.
take this for example.
That's crazy.
I seen when I was at my old school, I seen 2 kids right next to each other. They were texting each other, like right in front of each other, one right next to each other, texting each other. I asked them why did I just talk to you because they said what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
You was just talking on the phone.
Hey, but you know what's crazy? It's like the
Wow.
things that when we were kids was like a parody is like the reality now. Like, remember Don't Be a Menace? Dude paged the other dude, then he paged him, then he hit him back. And they was right next to each other. And what he just talk about?
That's exactly
You know what I'm
what's
saying?
going on today.
But then going back to the technology piece with COVID and schools and stuff, I feel like it really kind of exposed some social inequalities in our community and the world in general, like just how we are as a people. So we went to the virtual school and all that, and teachers were teaching virtual. And what I noticed, especially with my own kids and the kids that I coach, everybody grades dropped.
So you were active watching your parents.
Absolutely. And
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all were
everybody, girl, I'm talking about from top to bottom. Like my son was a scholar, great grades. He got so many bad habits because of COVID, and he just got.
My thing is, I was earning a PhD doing COVID.
My kids passed with flying colors.
I also taught. I taught college. I taught like master's level students, and all my students, all their grades went up. There was a spike in grades. I first went from low achievement. My college students, all working professionals, were getting trash grades to start out COVID. But as COVID went on, like grades increased. The grades increased. Now, doing my end of the course surveys, because the distractions went away and they were able to fully focus on their studies and the stuff. That's what their reasoning was.
Yeah, see, and for my kids, I feel like it was the opposite. The distractions were actually increased because.
Being on the device, you have the access to put a camera on something else and go off to mind your own business.
And what my kids was doing, exactly what he talking about, and they own the game.
Yep.
They
right
playing the game.
I've seen that.
And in class on the phone.
And I'm like, did you do your work? They're like, yeah, I did it. And then I'm trusting it. And then the teacher like, well, his camera's not on at all during class. You say what? His what?
You can hear him snoring, everything.
Oh, okay.
You can have it on before, like, you can look. Okay, your camera's right here.
Teach
us.
us.
TV's right there. You can be looking like
Look like you're paying attention.
Playing games, yeah, paying attention. Look like it. That's what most teachers would say now. Not now, but like during COVID, our social skills dropped exponentially. Like talking with your students while you teach them is the most, in my opinion, is the best way to teach anybody.
I agree.
Like as you showing them, you talking to them through it,
asking questions.
And not so big.
It's alright.
With COVID, teachers really wanted to just say the information and get on with the business.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah,
well, but that is very true, because you also understand those teachers were also parents and they had their own kids. But and that's unfair. But you have to understand it's so we have to do another episode with the mental effects of COVID, because you went from these young people who aren't even fully developed mentally to even maintain attention and focus on anything.
Right.
You went from them seeing their friends every day, being fulfilled socially, not only at home but at school, to not. So they scrummage and they create discourse to try to Discord is a app that they use to communicate with each other.
Right.
It's like being on live. To try to fulfill that missing part of the social that they're missing, and as a young person, that's one of the most important things. They need to be well balanced socially. I mean, you could be the best dad or the best mom in the world, but you can't fulfill your child's needs socially. They need their peers, and young people lean heavily on their peers. I had a mom tell me she lost her son during COVID to technology, or to his game, and to virtual everything. I said, no, you didn't. That trauma or damage that was done for COVID needs to be repaired. You need to get back active with your kids, so to pull them away from those things. You know what I'm saying? But I totally understand. I mean, if I would have been a kid during COVID, I would have been just like you. I would have had my phone right here and my game right there, and I would have been playing a game. Cause
I wouldn't have been paying attention, because like you said, your peers. I might be in school with him, and I'm like, you understand this? You know, I got somebody right there I can lean on and help me with my assignment, help me with my work, or just be there to just have a conversation, just a regular conversation. A study buddy. You know, in college, I don't know about nobody else. I'm sorry, but I took college really serious. I don't pay to fail. I was in the library a lot, okay? I was in the library, okay? It was called Club Meyer at Missouri State, okay? And we called it the hip-hop section, because we were talking, we'd be sitting at a table, but we got work done, and we engaged with each other. Like, what do you think about this? I would find criminal justice information, be like, yo, check this out, check what I just found out. You know, just share information and talk about it or whatever. The dentist would tell us a little, you know, it's just a little bit of this. It's the social skills. And the diversity.
Well,
yeah, but during COVID.
I'm gonna say another piece that people I think forget about with the COVID situation was, one, a lot of kids depend on that, like school. Like a lot of kids don't eat at home.
Sir.
A lot of kids aren't in
safe environment.
Exactly. It's not. It's a stressful environment. You know what I mean? And then you think about kids that are in households where there's multiple children.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you got multiple children. It may be
lack of focus.
It may be one computer. It may be one TV.
Listen.
Right. So you think about all that type of stuff, and then the stresses that come with that. Like people, a lot of times I think people forget that, you know, kids stress too. You know, one of the things I do
mental health.
At practice with my little kids, my 11-year-olds, I stop practice right after conditioning. It's probably the hardest time. Kids complaining, and I just ask all the little boys who need a hug. Who need a hug?
That's dope.
And you'll be surprised how many kids be like, Coach, I need one today. Like, I just need a hug. I am not. Today is not a good day. And we don't got to talk about, you know, what's going on at school or at home. You stressing. Like, let's just figure it out, you know what I mean, and move forward. So, I think
about that with kids, they feel like the only person they can go through, because if they, in a certain environment, if they feel like their parents are the best option, their next best thing is the internet. Their next best thing, go to somebody online and talk to them about it, even though they have no access to your situation. But with also what you said, with the hug thing, anybody can be stressed and can just use a hug.
That's it.
Especially like anybody.
I'm such a hugger. So I hug you.
That's it.
With that, after a certain amount of times, because the best thing about hugs, that hugs physically boost your mood. Like like when you hug someone, you can feel your like not mentally, well, yes, mentally, but not physically. You can feel mentally your stress slightly being relieved. That's true. Like talking it out and just giving someone a hug.
Physical connection releases dopamine into your nervous system, which causes you
influx. No, I ain't know the term, but I was waiting on somebody.
Unless they musty, and then that make it your stress level go up.
That reverses the dopamine.
I'm a hood. Baby, you stink, but I love you. Okay.
Like the phone.
Because if they musty, I'm talking about stressing. Are you okay? What's going on in your life? Are you all right?
No, I'm not stressed, baby. I got some deodorant when this hug over, okay?
I'm going to be like, you know what?
No.
That's not normal. I'm going to kind of try to figure out what happened there.
We need to have a conversation right now. What's the problem?
Do you work in a rice house?
I was just about to say, you're not supposed to smell like no shrimp St. Paul right now. You should not. I'm glad you said rice house and not the apple. Yeah. You know, good job, brother. Good job. I appreciate that.
It's Chloe. Chloe, are you on here?
Yes.
Are you listening to all this, Chloe? Because I know we've hit it. I mean, we can't even ask questions because they all just keep coming up. I think this is a wonderful conversation just discussing technology with kids today. Thank you to Angelo. Chloe, what do you feel about technology? Do you have anything to say about this, or are you just listening?
I'm just really listening. Because it's good. It's cool and fun to hear a lot of different point of views of how everyone views technology. Because everyone views technology in a different way, and it's really cool to hear other people's opinions about it. So I'm more of a listener than a talker most of the time.
Wonderful. I love it. I'm glad to have you here because you mentioned cyberbullying and you know, I think a lot of stuff that we talked about brings that up. Just, you know, kids getting into the wrong conversation, talking to the wrong people. Elena said if the school doesn't have their stuff together, you know, you can always backdoor it because it happened. And I say that because I have a friend that it personally happened to where her son was able to backdoor something on a dark web or something like that, and she's stressed about it, and the school is very lenient, and this is a school in Florida, you know, so that's something that actually happened, you know what I'm saying, and they're talking to strangers, and when she was explaining it to me, I was like, that's an adult they're talking to. I'm gonna tell you right now. So when he finally told the truth and, you know, had stole the tablet, told the truth, he found a website. I said, okay, so that wasn't on the school. I said, so yeah, you don't contact the school. That ain't got nothing to do with school. Your son found a website, went on it, and now they telling him to do things to himself. They involving his little sister. Your little sister. You gotta. I said that's a predator.
Yep, grooming.
Girl, exactly. And I told her, I said, get rid of that. Write all that stuff down. If you gotta go to the police, go to the police. I said, make sure he didn't put the location or put anybody's information in there. But that's the type of stuff. When she says cyberbullying, bring that to Chloe. It's a huge deal, and it also goes with not just with cyberbullying, but the social media bullying, and people want to look like what they see, like it's real. You know, it's a lot of makeup, it's a lot of fake videos, fake pictures. You know, a lot of stuff like that. You know,
perception.
Look here, and it becomes their reality. You know, they're like, that's really what it. We got to get ourselves. I want to look like that. I don't want to eat anymore. I want to do. You know,
I say that all the time. In the world we live in, perception is almost more important than reality.
Yes,
how you perceive, you know. If you look like you got money, it don't matter if you got it for real.
Look here, look here.
Yeah.
You gotta look like, you know, and I just, that's crazy to me because kids just get fooled by so much, you know what I mean?
And they're easy targets. If you don't have a mentality that he got, you know what I mean? It's like you or Chloe who can, you know, think for herself, but who went through it before. You know what I'm saying? It's Kids are going through it, and no matter how you raise them, they're becoming themselves.
Yeah.
I was at a conference about human trafficking, and there was this of this young man regarding TikTok, a young man who was abducted ultimately, but it was so unsuspecting because, you know, they be on TikTok and all these random people can hop in and have conversations with them. They get easy access to, and then, you know, if the person hops on the live every day, it creates some sort of relationship. You know, not necessarily an inappropriate one, but you get used to and familiar with the person. So this young man they couldn't even really call it abducted because he didn't steal the child. He created the relationship and then got the child to willingly come out to the house and meet him somewhere, and then to willingly go. I mean, a 14-year-old boy. I mean,
I don't have to listen to my mom's rules anymore. I don't have to do this anymore. I don't have to do this anymore. They see a set of freedom, but not seeing the reality. Like this man just groomed you.
Correct.
He's a predator.
It's disgusting.
If you decide you want to leave, he's not gonna let you go that easy.
Give me your people's, give me their address. I mean, and that's what's scary is you never know what information is being given about you unwillingly. I mean, you know,
the parents could be the enemy,
Correct.
so
Oh
you're
my
giving
God.
all the information. You just fed me to the wolves.
I hate my mom. When they get, I hate my mom. I'm so sick of this. My parents are going through a divorce, and none of these have a race to them. These are life circumstances and situations that are going on with any kid that we can see walking around out here. You know, people always want to talk about all the black people do that, but stop. Everybody do it. Everybody, I don't care what color you are. You're going through a divorce. You're cheating. You're going through relationship problems.
Yeah, what you just said,
You're broke. COVID. And I lost your job. Everybody broke. Your business went downhill. For God's sake, okay? And it wasn't just you. You was on food stamps too.
unless you got a PPP.
Tell me you wasn't, because and you probably, and they're
Unless
probably
you got a
locked up
PP
right now.
loan.
You know, a lot of people got locked up for that.
Or you was getting that 700
You
a
know,
week. In
people
unemployment.
embezzling money. It ain't black people.
I
It ain't
wish.
Hispanics. It's
Now I missed out on all that,
it's
unfortunately.
everybody.
I need it.
Because I want it to be essential.
Look, I need it.
I need it.
I mean,
I
unless
need it
you
now.
came into it already rich, so you was established, so you know you can't
Right.
really count them.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, everybody goes. Life circumstances hit everybody. You know, people are so quick to point fingers at this type, judge stereotype, and everything else. Categorize somebody in this bubble or this bubble or that bubble or this kid or that kid. I adopted 10 kids last year for Christmas to give gifts to, and I did one from the high school I went to, Eureka High School, and one from a high school from Gateway High School. Same age, one white, one black. Both of them going through similar situations. Nobody was better than either one of them. They hugged each other. They were grateful to get gifts. But if nobody puts it out there and demonstrates that, you know,
That's it.
then they don't see it. So those two boys had to see it. And you know what? His bonus mom, because he doesn't have his mother. She messaged me and said he's doing great. He just moved to another state, and you know, and I'm gonna contact him and see how he's doing. I like to keep in touch. This is the kid that his name is LJ. He's somewhere. He went to Eureka. But that young white man and that young black man, Spencer, that I took care of. Spencer had a baby on the way and everything. But those two boys both played football. You know, both big guys. Didn't really have much. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, LJ ain't got no mom. You know, this kid ain't got. You know, it's like, don't look at their color. They both going through something, and they both just appreciated being acknowledged for Christmas. You know what I mean? So life circumstances, when you talk about technology, it ain't just a black kid or a white kid. However that kid's growing up or whatever they decide to do, they gonna make that decision.
Yep.
Everybody got a crackhead in their family. We over here on the south side right now in St. Louis. That white man walking down the street, we know he on something. I don't care what color you are. That dude on the north side, that black dude walking down the street on the north side, we know he on something.
Man.
They just on two different sides of town.
People try to make the color thing, and it's really not. It's an economic thing. Like it has nothing to do with color whatsoever.
Bars.
And to be honest, like you know, I'm not gonna say like it doesn't affect the people with money because they got more access to
The drugs.
you know what I mean? They got the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whether you in Fenton or Chesterfield, you know, it's the same thing.
Somewhere.
And people dealing with it.
Somebody.
You know what I mean?
Standing on the corner.
Cause I got white friends I went to school with, black friends, Asians, Bosnians. Like you said, everybody got somebody in their family. They just like, yeah, he out here bad. You know what I mean?
He ain't gonna make it. I don't know. There's nothing else we can do for him.
And I know, and then you know what's crazy? We talk about that. I know, I'm not gonna say too much about it, but I recently a former classmate just passed from some from addiction. You know, he was you know, he's out here bad, and this a family that we grew up in the same neighborhood. Both went to private school. Him and his younger brother went to private school, and you know, from a great family, mother and father, both in the household. Like, so you got everything working in your favor,
Right? Come on.
and you still, you know, so none of that really matters.
Come on.
You know, and
Life happens.
and it does, and people just gotta, you know.
You know, it's funny you say that. I have somebody I didn't even really know, but just we had mutual friends. Really good guy. I mean, they used to call him the bishop because he was heavy into church. And I seen on Facebook the other day, like, just. So I was like, hey, what's going on with this guy or whatever? And like, he's like, just drugs. Like, it blew my mind.
It's even the last word you think.
Blew my mind. Man.
Last person you think.
And usually it's like, oh, okay, well, but like it really like made me sad. Like this guy had it going on. I mean, just everything was together. It's like, dang, man.
And it
But
be
it's
like
life.
that too.
It be those life situations. I mean,
Life
and let me just
circumstances,
tell you
buddy.
something. People always say, everybody thinks they're above something. Everybody thinks they're above a situation.
Rule of law.
They'll
No one's
handle
above
a
the law.
situation. They'll handle a situation a certain way, and it'll never be me. They'll say, "Oh, that'll never be me."
Oh no, don't do that.
Man,
Don't never
yeah.
say never.
And life will push you in that direction.
Never say never.
Man.
And that just made me think of a quote my dad used to always say to me, and it just sticks out. I say it to my kids all the time. You know, the people with the most potential are the greatest failures.
Man, come on here. Let's have it.
Cause if you weren't supposed to be nothing, don't nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Order in the court.
We knew-
said something.
We knew he wasn't gonna be nothing, you know. And you don't amount to nothing, but then you like you said, you got everything going. You the captain of the football team, the valedictorian. You got all this stuff, and then a lot of times them expectations people can't live up to them.
Yeah.
You know, and
You
then
see them later on. They come
yeah.
with explanations first before they can even greet you good.
Oh wait,
Well, see,
this ain't
I'm
my
just
regular
here
car.
because-
This ain't my regular car. This is my work truck. My Escalade in the shop. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Is it?
Whatever makes you feel better.
My lights off. The hammer ain't came out, so I'm just standing in my house real quick.
Oh yeah, is that what you doing? Okay.
Well, tell your mom I said hi.
Okay.
You even be like,
Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. you
Right.
know?
hope things get better. Hope the lights come back on.
Wow.
You know, it's just life, man. It's in technology.
What'd you say?
The technology.
Hold on.
is just-
You-
Don't be whispering now.
Go ahead, talking to Mike, baby.
That
Say
kind
it
of
with
falls
your
into
chest.
why I don't want high. I don't want people to expect much from me. So when I do a lot, it just a complete surprise.
No, absolutely not.
Tell him, Mike. Tell him, Mike.
Now, and I struggle with this with my son. My son's 16, and he's afraid to be great, right? Because he doesn't want to fail. And part of that is because of me. You know, I have very high expectations for him. From the time he started anything, school, sports, everything, you know, the bar has always been higher. You know, if this where everybody else at, you got to be a little more. You got to do a little more. So, he's had some struggles with that. And what I have to explain to him is like, no champion started off a champion. Everybody started off a novice.
Yeah.
Everybody started at the beginning. So, you know, aim for the moon, and if you don't make it, you land on the stars. Like, don't ever downplay yourself, or you know, I don't want people to have high expectations for me. Like what they say, undersell and over deliver. I don't really believe in that. Like, set the bar high, and that's where it is. And if you fall short,
That's it.
if you fall short, you figure out where you fell short, and next time, learn from it. I mean, that's don't ever do that. Like, always.
Excellence is your way. That's it.
And my response to that would have been like what I've done. I mean, as the former master of making mistakes, I learned to just be quiet. So, you know, when I was working like toward my PhD, nobody even knew I was working toward it for the first 2 years.
That's it.
Because I know I have a tendency to mess things up. So if I'm vocal about it and I mess things up, I gotta explain myself to everybody. Oh, I thought you was doing that. When you working on it, what happened?
Yeah, that's
But
That's the
but
best advice I got.
if I'm quiet, I waited till probably a week before I was finna defend my dissertation, like present my research, and then I was like, well, gay guys, I'm finna go do this. It's like, what? Do what? I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this. And so you set your price and live your life, right? So you wait till you're almost done, and then it's easier. I find it easier to tell people what I've done
That's
as
right.
opposed to tell them what I'm doing.
Move in silence. That was the best advice
Look
somebody's
here,
ever
that's it.
told me.
That's
Move in silence.
Real G,
They'll
they say
see
real
it on
G
the other
moves in
side.
silence.
Now,
I'll crip walk on y'all.
I will say I kind of use two aspects. So in my business, in business, I take that approach. Like, I don't really say that until it's done. But as far as like me coaching, and even when I'm like involved in sports, period, like I feel like I talk, and because I talk, I have to work harder because
2 aspects of life right there.
I lay the foundation, right? I done said I'm gonna do all this stuff. I'm a man of my word. My word is everything. So I'm gonna make sure I put the work in to back up everything I'm saying. So when the rubber meet the road, ain't no this happened because
But even if you fell short, you still was pushing towards a goal.
Yeah.
I like that.
Ooh-wee. Good people. Y'all, we're going to wrap up season 3, episode 4 right now. We're going to come back because the conversation can go on and on. So, but before we leave, I'm going to say again who we got at the table. When I send them around, we're going to, everybody, you got to give a good people. Chloe, you on there?
Yep, I'm here.
Chloe, calling in from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Can you give us a good people?
Good people.
And then you have Dante. Can you give us a good people?
Absolutely. Good people.
And we have Elena. Talk to us, please.
Good people.
That's it. All right now.
All right.
And we got Mike. What's up?
Is that how we're supposed to say it?
You saying how you want to say it. Let me hear you.
I almost sang it.
Good people.
All
right.
Yeah. With the chest.
Angelo. Go ahead, sir.
Good people. Okay.
That's the loudest he was all day. Anyway, he made
All right, young man.
a lot of
That's
points, but
all
that was the loudest, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm going to leave you with, ladies and gentlemen? This Angel with the Angels Online. Good people. You got to get the people what they want. Woo!